Now, people are always trying to find a quick way to make some cash, and usually it's not always legal. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you 5 illegal ways to make money. Now guys, do not try this at home. This is just for educational purposes. Do not try this at home. What is up? I'm Brandon Young, and on this channel I teach you how to make, save, and invest money. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Now everybody wants that quick cash and they want that money magically. So first thing we have on the list is tax evasion. Tax evasion, how do you make money from that? Well, typically what tax evasion is not paying your taxes. So not giving those tax monies to Uncle Sam. Now usually when it comes to businesses, when you have a business, you have to pay an allocated amount of money in taxes yearly. But what a lot of people don't do is they try to keep all that money. They don't give the tax portion to the IRS, which enables them to make more money. Now we usually see this with cash businesses. It's harder to track a cash business over a business that uses a lot of debit and credit cards because there's actually that paper trail, those receipts. But with cash businesses, you put in cash in other people's hands, so nobody knows how much you're really making. You honestly tend to see this when you go to businesses. Usually they will charge you significantly less if you pay them in cash because they know they can take that money underneath the table. They don't need to put it in the books. So tax evasion can be pretty lucrative. But don't let Uncle Sam catch you doing this because you will end up in jail for a minimum of 3 to 5 years. Now the second thing that we have on this list is ATM fraud. ATM fraud has been increasing relatively every single year because of the use of, Apple Pay, and more people are getting online and people are using debit cards and credit cards more. So obviously the amount of fraud is going to increase yearly. Now pretty much ATM fraud is getting access to an account that does not belong to you and taking those monies out of that account. Usually you see this happening, either somebody loses their card or somebody gains access to an account that they shouldn't have access to, or you get your card skimmed. This is when maybe there's a fake device on an ATM. You put your card in there, it pretty much scans all the information off that card, and the hacker or the scammer usually gains access to that information, puts it on a dummy account, and is able to access your monies from your accounts. Now, how do people profit from this? Well, obviously the account is not theirs, so they are taking money from hardworking people, and that always sucks. To have your money taken from you, especially if you don't know how it happened, that sucks. Now, number 3 on this list is money laundering. Now, obviously you see a lot of these Netflix shows or movies that show money laundering when they have crime organizations that actually have these legitimate businesses hold their money or wash their money. Basically, it's to hide their money and show that there's no illegal activity and stuff going on. So the way that it happens is they have like a crime organization or maybe a crime boss or somebody doing illegal activities that usually finds some type of foreign bank, or they find some type of business. They have the money come in through the business so it looks like actual customers. So obviously when it looks like actual customers, the money is getting washed into the actual business, making it look like it's legitimate money. After that, they get their money back or whatever, and it looks clean. Now the way that they profit from this is obviously from them washing the money, they do gain some type of monetary value back. So maybe they'll get 5 or 10% of the money that they wash. So could be pretty lucrative for somebody, but I recommend that you don't do it because you're gonna go to jail. Now the jail sentence for money laundering is about 16 months to 4 to 5 years. So I don't know, money laundering, getting watched while you shower, I don't know which one you want to do. Which one? Next one we have on this list is identity theft. Now, identity theft, I don't see it happen that much. I mean, not in my neighborhood, but I've heard of people who have lost their identity, and it pretty much sucks because in order to fix it, it takes years. It takes months and years, and it's kind of annoying to have your identity taken. But obviously the way that people profit from this is they sell your identity to, you know, hackers, other people, and these people can open up loans, they can open up different accounts in your name, and obviously they have that fake name that they're under, so whatever they're doing, whatever illegal activities that they're doing, it's hidden under your name. So it's like nothing is really affecting them, but everything is affecting you. So obviously identity theft is not fun. It takes years to fix. So obviously if you do have some type of account or stuff, you want to have identity theft protection. You see a lot of these websites that offer it, or a lot of these services that offer it. I would recommend that you pick one up. They're relatively cheap. Yeah, these hackers gain these accounts in large quantities, so they may get 100,000 of these accounts, and usually they'll sell each account from $1 to $10, and that might not seem like a lot, but they have a system where they're gaining a lot of these accounts at one time from skimming accounts or hacking accounts and all that. So for them to get 100,000 accounts, sell them for $5, they're getting their money back quick, and your account is getting compromised. If you decide to do this, be aware that you will be sitting in jail for 2 to 5 years. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead, do your thing, but don't recommend it. Now the last and final one on this list is check fraud. Now check fraud, man, has it been increasing year after year after year? I don't like to admit this, but I was involved in one. I actually have a story time related to this. I'll put it up in the link up here so you can go and watch that video. Obviously check fraud, especially in my neighborhood and in my actual city, it happens a lot. It's pretty common actually. And pretty much what check fraud is when people will deposit a fake check into your account, or you know, you have a lot of these scams out there where people email you, they're like, oh, do you want a job? And then you're like, oh yeah, I want a job. And they're like, okay, well, I will pay you for the first week or first 2 weeks of your service. And you're like, okay, cool. And then they're like, I'll send you a check. Then they send you a check, and they said that the service that they're gonna pay you for, they'll pay you $300. When you get this check in the mail, the check is for like $2,000, and they're like, whoa, I sent you too much money. But, you know, since I want you to get paid, deposit that check, take your $300 out, and then send me the rest back. And then in your head, you're like, okay, well, to me, that's red flags. Like, nobody's going to give you a check worth more than what they actually want to give you. But a lot of people they fall for this scam all the time. Obviously, to somebody who has been involved in things like this, or like does a lot of research on scams, you would know not to do this, but a lot of people fall victim to it every single day. So one of the major rules is don't let people actually get access to your account. Usually if people are giving you checks and telling you to deposit it into your account and take money and give them back, usually it is illegal. So don't do it. But if you do plan to profit from this, I wouldn't do it at all, because one, if you get caught doing this, you will get blacklisted from banks, so you won't be able to open up bank accounts of that sort. And two, you will be facing some hefty jail time, because usually anything related to finances and the bank usually ends up in a hefty type of jail. You know, this cool place where, you know, they got cells and they got bars, and, you know, they gotta watch you pee, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, they have people in my neighborhood racking it up, because they find a new victim every single week, and they can make up to 3 to 5K from that victim. Pretty much the victim has to pay back all that money unless They want to get blacklisted by the actual bank. Person who scams them profits the most. They rinse and repeat until obviously most of them, they do it too much and they get caught. But for the select few that are very careful and don't get caught, they usually end up profiting a lot from it. Now obviously these are great ways to make money illegally. I do not recommend them at all. I will say this again, do not try this at home. Do not try this at home. You will end up behind a jail cell and you will end up paying large fines of up to $1 million for some of these items that you do. So be very wary. If you want to give these a try, go ahead, but do it at your own leisure. I'm not recommending that you do it at all. I want you guys to be able to be out here in the great old America or wherever you're watching this and be able to like and subscribe to my channel. I don't think you can do that from behind a jail cell. Or maybe jail does have internet, so well, but if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. And if you did, be sure to go and subscribe to the channel. Leave this video a like. I will see you in my next video. Peace.